Hey, it's Kish,
And it's Roland here.
and we are back with round 4 action from the Bendigo League Cup in Victoria, Australia. So, in this round, we'll be featuring Andy on the left, playing his Volcanion EX deck, versus Sean on the right, playing a deck he's affectionately called Trash, and it features a smorgasbord of Pokemon: Espeon EX, Umbreon GX, Zoroark Break, the Giratina that blocks breaks. Pretty much anything you can think of, Sean's got it in his deck. So, Roland, this is going to be a crazy matchup and something I'm sure Andy's not prepared for at all.
No, absolutely not. So the important thing for Sean is that he plays the type change Vaporeon, so it turns all your stage 1s into water Pokemon in addition to whatever type they were before. So this is going to allow both Zoroark and Umbreon to knock out pretty well all of Andy's Pokemon, really.
Yeah. And Volcanion's not exactly a deck that can afford to restrict its bench too much, because you need multiple attackers. You need at least two or three Volcanion
absolutely,
EXs to steam up on the bench. So he's almost forced to play into Zoroark's hands. And for Sean, the critical thing is, can he get out that Vaporeon, and how much value can he get out of it?
Yeah, and the good thing is, in the first few turns of the game, Zoroark can actually put in a lot of work even without Vaporeon. So 4 bench Pokemon from the Volk side is going to do 130, which is enough to knock out Baby Volk. It's enough to knock out Shaman if Sean can get a Lysander. So, he's going to need, obviously, the Vaporeon to knock out the Volcanion EXs. But, Zoroark's just really good early on. Unfortunately for Sean, he didn't start first, so he's probably not... So that Zoro was probably going to go down, but... it could go down even if he went first, because, of course, Volcanion get attacked going second. But, so he's going to be under a bit of pressure, but he can respond.
Yeah, and so Andy just goes straight for the Hooper, grabs a couple of Volcanions and a Shaman EX.
Yeah.
Sean, probably not too unhappy to see that.
No.
Andy's bench filled up straight away.
He's got a bit of an odd hand, actually. The rest of his hand, before he Shaman, was, I think, 2 Versus Seekers and another Sycamore. So, a bit of an awkward start here.
Yeah, definitely. So, just debating where to put that Flowstone. I'm sure he doesn't want to... Or does he have an N in hand? Yeah, it looks like he has an N as his last card.
He does.
Fairly sure. Yep. He does, yep.
So so definitely doesn't want to discard really any of those.
No. And Sean doesn't want to shuffle his hand into his deck yet. And there we go. So, so the other thing to note is that Andy, he might not know it, but he can't afford not to play his Pokemon down as well, because he could get punished. Sean does play Captivating Pokebuff, an item card.
Oh, wow.
It allows you to look at your opponent's hand and
I didn't
put
even
any
know that.
basics you find in their hand straight onto their bench. So that's how Sean gets around people just not benching Pokemon in order to restrict Zoroark's damage. So Sean does play Captivating Pokebuff, and not going to get too much value now. Andy's bench already full, but maybe in the later turns or game 2 and 3, if it goes to a game 3, then we'll have to wait and see. So Andy gets an energy. That's pretty much all he's looking for right now. He doesn't really want for too much else. Volcanion's turn's pretty straightforward early on. You just want to steam up Max Elixir and Power Heater. That's pretty much what you're doing. So he chooses to attach to the bench and just passes.
Yeah, could actually be worried about a Moonless Madness for the first attack from Zoroark.
That's true.
If that confuses the active Volcanion, he's going to be stuck in a bit of an awkward spot, funnily enough. Gee, we see the promo Jirachi discarded from Sean. Yeah, this really is, a smorgasbord, as you put it. A smorgasbord of trash, how appetizing. But, that's not a card we've really seen much recently. So,
and not going to be useful at all in this matchup, so Sean bins it.
No, it isn't. But so grabs Eevee. And, of course, one of the other ways around, your opponent not benching too much stuff is just attack with Umbreon, because Umbreon's damage is not reliant on your opponent's bench. But, obviously in this matchup, Zoroark's going to be putting in all the work. Unfortunately, with 5 bench Pokemon, Mindjack caps at 160. So unless we see something like a Skyfield from Andy, which he probably wouldn't... Well, I'm not sure if he plays it in his deck, but even if he did, he probably wouldn't choose to do it.
Yeah.
We're not going to see Mindjack get a knockout on a Volcanion EX unless we see that Vaporeon, but...
So Sean had an interesting decision there. He could have attached that Psychic Energy to Eevee and used Energy Evolution, hoping to draw into a Float Stone off the Sycamore and then just confuse the active Volcanion. He could have retreated the Zorua and confused the active Volcanion, deciding to go with the more conservative route and perhaps preserving that Eevee to try and get a Vaporeon out later.
So I was talking about Umbreon, but he plays Espeon, which I still didn't even know until right now. So of course you can use Energy Evolution to go straight into Espeon. So he could have attacked the first turn, but he didn't know he was going to draw the Float Stone. So probably just thought, okay, it's more important to power up Zoroark. Because, if I confuse the active Volk, but then if he gets heads through confusion, then I'm stuck in an awkward spot because Psychic's only going to do 90 damage if he follows up with the DCE. So, it probably... Although he could follow up with his attack from Zoroark. I don't know, it's interesting, but... that's what he went with, so... Parallel City, gee. Okay, that's going to be interesting here. He'll use the 3 bench restriction on himself. And he's going to be able to get rid of both the Hooper and the Shaman. Good for reducing the damage from Zoroark, and also just taking easy targets off the board for Sean.
And Andy doesn't have much in his hand. Looks like an Escape Rope Energy, Scorched Earth, and a Lysander. So he played the Parallel City. He had the option.
Yeah, he had the option of Scorched Earth. That is interesting, actually.
And he keeps the energy in hand, so not committing it just yet, which is also pretty interesting.
Interesting play, definitely.
Yeah. Perhaps saving it for next turn when he can use Scorched Earth.
So maybe this turn he's saying, all right, I want to get rid of those sort of those useless sort of bench sitters. They're worse than useless. They're hampering my chances of winning. Get rid of them now while nothing's really happening in the game because he probably knows that Sean can't really do much this turn. Okay, so he's Lysandered, but
probably so Sean actually with a double colorless and a Vaporeon can actually knock out Volcanion.
So what am I saying? Of course, he has another Eevee down, so that was also probably why he didn't want to Energy Evolution the Eevee, because he wanted to save that Eevee to evolve into Vaporeon, because of course you're competing, the Eevees are competing for what you want to evolve into, so that actually makes a lot of sense now, for sure. So okay, so now we see that the counter Scorched Earth, and he will be able to draw some cards here.
And he probably just wants to prioritize moving that Volcanion. And he draws a Fisherman. And didn't quite catch the other card.
Oh, there's another Lysander, actually. So he's got 2 in his hand. Right. And he's got a Pokemon Ranger, and an Escape Rope and an Elixir. It's not great. He can attack this turn, though. So if he succeeds with the Elixir and he Fishermans for 1 energy, there we go, So he will be able to get a knockout if he so chooses.
So he can Steam Up. Fisherman, get 2 energy back, Steam Up again, and then attach 1 to the Baby Volcanion and hit for 90. Or 80, sorry.
Oh, he could do that, I was thinking... Or he could knock it out with the Volcanion EX. Which looks like he's going to do,
Okay. So... Is he going to Escape Rope here, or is he just going to sack the Volcanion?
Oh, so of course, because that's the thing. He does need to Escape Rope, which means that Sean's going to send out something else, so he's not going to get... I would have liked to see him... he had to Elixir before he Escape Rope, but... Okay, so he's using Fisherman now.
He can't actually attack this turn, I don't think, because he's already attached... Oh, no, he Max Elixir that.
No, he absolutely can, but the question is, what does he want to do?
So he's in a pretty vulnerable spot right now. It's not going to take much for Sean to knock out that Volcanion. Just a Vaporeon, really.
I see. The one thing I don't really like there from Andy is playing the Fisherman first before you Escape Rope. I think you want to give your opponent as little information as possible before.
Absolutely.
Because Sean, if you've already played... the Fisherman, Sean knows you don't have a Sycamore. He knows you don't have a Draw Supporter. So, but I think Sean probably would have sent out Giratina anyway, so maybe it's not a big deal. But I mean, the bigger question is leaving that Volcanion out 3 Fire Energy, is that a huge risk? And I think the answer is yes, because all Sean needs, as you said, is a Vaporeon, and that's going to be a knockout. So, it might have been better attacking with Baby Volk, but.
Sorry, but doesn't look like Sean hit the Vaporeon or an Ultra Ball.
So you use Lily. It's not a card that we see. I think I see an Ultra Ball in his hand, but that could be something else.
No, I think it's a VS Seeker.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So Sean taking the conservative route here. Or is he? Yeah, so he just retreats the Evil Tile and passes. He had the option to hit for 90 there, deciding not to.
Yeah. He could have hit for 100, but...
100, yep.
Yeah, interesting. No, absolutely. I think it's the right call for sure. The only risk here is that, yeah, if Andy could get like a Lysander KO on the Eevee, then Sean would lose the ability to get out Vaporeon, and so then he would have really needed to do the 100 that turn. But yeah, as it stands right now, either Sean gets out the Vaporeon. Yeah, if he does, then he gets a knockout anyway, so there's no reason to put your Zoroark in harm's way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And this is the awkward thing about Volk, is once you've attacked with Volcanic Heat, you can't always follow it up.
Yeah.
So he'll just elect to retreat and attack this turn with Baby Volk, if
Andy
possible.
forced to end himself to 4 and give Sean a new hand of 6.
Yeah, not ideal for him, but yeah, he's in a decent spot. A lot better than he was.
5. Apologies.
Yeah, not getting KO that turn is so big for him. Oh, he's got an escape rope in his hand. He actually could get a knockout here.
I think Andy might have drawn one too many cards off that end. Not 100% sure.
It
6.
does look like there's...
Yeah, looks like there's 6 in his hand. So just a small mistake. Pretty easy to make.
Yeah, no, it is.
But... so he attaches to the Baby Volcanion, and he's just going to have to
so he's gonna,
for 20.
Yeah, just going to...
The nice thing about Sean's deck is that he can afford to just throw things up into the active spot to take a hit, because it's never really going to get stuck there.
Yeah, that's a great thing about Zoroark.
At any time and retreat to whatever you want if you've got a float stone, or just stand in and attack with the Zoroark. So, so Sean does find an Ultra Ball here. Does he have a Lysander though? So Sean, I'm sure we'll be going for the Vaporeon here. Nothing else he can really get. His bench is full, so...
Whoa, was that an Espeon EX?
Espeon EX. Anything you can think of, Roland. Anything. Just think of a card. Sean's got it.
What is going on? Wow, okay. Well, yeah, no, he's really... yeah, I don't even know what to say, but yeah, it's an interesting deck. Does he even play Umbreon, or is that some figment of my imagination? Okay, he does play Umbreon.
He does play Umbreon.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't just completely imagine that, so...
No.
It may or may not come out this game, but it's in there somewhere.
Like I said, if you can think of a card, we've got it. Jirachi, we've got it. Giratina promo, we've got it. Espeon EX, we've got it.
Yeah, well, even Oblivion Wing Yveltal, that's not a card we see very often anymore, but yeah, he's got that as well. Doesn't have the Lysander.
Sean unfortunately doesn't have the Lysander there, yeah. That would have been big. Knock out the 3 energy Volcanion EX on the bench.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting that Andy did decide to attach the energy to the active Volk, considering it wasn't really getting any value out of the power heater energy to the bench. So it's probably going to get knocked out now, but he could have just attached the energy somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that 20 damage wasn't really relevant.
No, it's not too relevant hitting the Oblivion Wing Yveltal for 20, so...
I mean, perhaps sort of attaching it in anticipation, but not getting knocked out so we could use it the following turn, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But... yeah, that's probably going to be a wasted energy, so we'll probably see, Sean knock this out with Zoroark, and then a return KO from Volk EX. But then the question is, how does Andy follow up after that gets knocked out?
Yeah. So I guess this is where the 100 damage, if Sean had chosen to attack that Volcanion EX earlier and put 100 on it, even if his Vaporeon gets KO'd, he's still within range of a KO with the...
Right, of course, because Vaporeon could get knocked out. That's the variable in this equation that I was probably not talking about. But of course, so Sean could knock out this active Volk, but then Andy could Lysander out Vaporeon, knock it out, and then now his Volcanion's actually safe.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing that's kind of awkward about these Eveelution decks. They actually are very reliant in a lot of matchups on having these stage ones into play.
Yeah.
So if you just knock them out, well, then your other stage ones, well, in this case, not Eveelutions, in this case, Zoroark, but they're not as threatening anymore. So,
I think Sean's possibly anticipating that and might be going for another Eevee. Oh no, he goes for an Oranguru.
Yeah, it goes maybe some Eevee surprise, but probably would have liked to see another Eevee there.
Yeah,
but I mean, I suppose it relies on him being able to get back the Vaporeon, because of course, I can get another Eevee out, but then how am I going to get Vaporeon back? So presumably he plays like a Super Rod, but you've got to...
sure he plays couple of Super Rod.
I mean, you sort of got to draw into that. Maybe just values getting that extra card. Mm-hmm. Does he play Shaman? That's interesting. I'm not sure.
He does not play Shaman, I believe.
Okay.
So this is a Shamanless deck.
Yeah, one of the very few. That's really unique, really interesting.
And there we see a Lysander.
Yeah, so we do see that Lysander. So that means that this Volk's going to be safe this turn. And also, one thing to note is that Andy doesn't actually have to put down another bench Pokemon unless he doesn't want to. Sorry, if he doesn't want to. Essentially, he could have elected not to put down that baby Volk and could have just said, actually, you're going to max out at 70 damage.
Yeah.
And, interesting.
Whereas now it's a 2-shot.
Whereas now it is a 2-shot. So, interesting that he decided to put that down. Was possibly worried if an Ant had wanted, a backup baby Volk, so he'd have a way to power up his bench, if he gets N to just 4 cards, but...
Yeah, so there's a super rod from Sean, so...
so he's going to be able to get back.
Yeah, possibly his Eevees were prized, otherwise you'd have to think he possibly could have just gone for an Eevee there.
Exactly, absolutely.
Position if he was able to draw into the Vaporeon, so...
Yeah, maybe he really needed the Oranguru, like he maybe really needed the card, because he was able to instruct for 1, maybe that got him what he needed.
Anyway, okay, so we see a Zoroark break. Okay, so forget about the 3-shot. Even if Andy hadn't been Pokemon, Sean's got Zoroark break, so
can use Volcanic Heat.
Volcanic Heat, yeah. So he would be hitting for 130 if he chooses to.
Yeah.
And also force a Steam Up out of Andy, like more cards basically. If Andy wanted to try and get off a Volcanic Heat through maybe an Escape Rope, Retreat, Steam Up. I think Sean's just putting Andy in pretty awkward spots, and he's playing well. And Andy probably doesn't know what's coming out of Sean's deck at this point.
Yeah, he might have thought that, I've knocked out that Vaporeon, the danger's over, I don't have to deal with it again. But, then that Super Rod probably pretty annoying for him to see.
And crucially, the thing about not playing Shaman from Sean's side of the board is he's only giving up 1 prize per attack. So even though Andy's knocked out 2 Pokemon, Sean's only 2 prizes behind. Yeah,
and there's no way that Andy can get to get 2 prizes in 1 attack,
Okay, so Sean uses Foul Play and copies Andy's Volcanic Heat, doing 130.
Yeah, and the neat thing is that, Volcanic Heat says you can't attack next turn, but 2 stand-ins will reset that effect.
Absolutely.
So, Zoroark's better equipped to attack multiple times with that attack than Volcanion is, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Maybe Volcanion decks need to take in a Zoroark line. Yeah, probably not. But
some early Volcanion decks did take in.
Oh, really? Yeah. Blast from the past. Oh, gee. Entei, that's very interesting tech.
Yeah.
That could be huge here, because that's going to get 1-hit knockouts on pretty much everything from Sean if he just gets like 1 or 2 Steam Ups.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, Entei has an attack, Combat Blaze, so it does 20 plus 20 for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Quite like Mind Jack. Not quite as powerful, like, intrinsically, but you get Steam Ups with it, so, it can be more powerful.
Okay. So, Andy steams up once, and then Sycamores. Probably just looking for... Well, there's any combination of cards.
There's a lot of cards that...
Yeah.
So he's got a Max Elixir here. He does have an Escape Rope in his hand.
Oh, he misses the Max Elixir. Wow. He hasn't played that many energies, so that's a little bit unlucky there. And his deck's fairly thin. Yeah, but there's any combination of cards. Escape Rope, Floatstone, Max Elixir, Energy, Attach.
Does he have an energy in his hand?
No, he doesn't have an energy in his hand either. So.
Wow, that's really unlucky. You're getting 7 off Sycamore, and you're getting a Max Elixir. But we do see an energy retrieval. Okay, so not the end of the world.
Yeah, but he'd probably be forced to attack with the Baby Volk this turn then. Because he can't.
Yeah, unless he wants to just take a prize with Escape Rope. That could be something that he wants to do.
He wouldn't be able to switch his Volcanion back in.
He could just retreat and Escape Rope.
Escape Rope, yeah.
But I think electing, probably take the safer play and just go with the Volcanion. So the 90X Volcanion, yeah. Deciding what he wants up Trainer's Mail here, probably not too much that's useful. He's already got several Versus Seeker in his hand, so...
So at this point, I think Sean's probably just looking for Eevee and Lysanders for the rest of the game, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
His prizes are pretty much laid out for him.
Yeah, he'd really love to obviously get that crucial Vaporeon back into play. He didn't get the Eevee down last turn, so that's actually pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
But Mind Jack's going to be getting a knockout here anyway, so that's actually huge.
And that's going to tie up the prizes.
Yeah, because Andy did put down that Entei. That's going to allow Sean to get a knockout here. Although, it does look, yeah, he has a Vest Seeker in his hand, so you might go for opt for Lysander anyway instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sean just needs 2 EX knockouts and 1 non-EX knockout. So those 2 damage Volcanions are pretty easy pickings for him.
Yeah.
And then just, 1 knockout on a Volcanion, non-EX, or the Entei.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have Lysander in his discard pile, correct? Or perhaps he doesn't?
I don't believe he does.
Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay. Well, sorry, that really changes things. Okay, so then he'll probably just have to take a knockout in the active, which is still good for him, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I possibly would have liked to see that energy go onto the Oranguru. Oranguru can use Psychic.
Yeah,
Which could come in beneficial later on.
Yeah, absolutely. 60. So it does 60 plus 20 for each of your opponent's. For each energy on the defending Pokemon. Yeah. So actually, not a bad attack, honestly.
Yeah.
Just not something that we see because the attack cost is a bit awkward because it's double colorless. So it takes 3 energy, so you need a double colorless and a dark. But yeah, could have made usage out of that. That Oblivion Wing Eviltal, I suppose it might be decent to power up an energy or 2, but the 30 damage probably isn't going to do much. But
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could see Entei attack here. So this is what Andy's going to really want here, is he's going to want to force Sean to effectively take 7 prizes. If he can attack with Entei here, he's going to force Sean to knock out that Entei, which means Sean's just going to go down to 3 prizes, but he still needs to knock out 2 EXs. So that's really what Andy's going to be looking for here. So Combat Blaze is going to be doing 100 damage base, and then he's just going to need like 2 Steam Ups or a Fighting Fury Belt. And he's got that's not a break. So that will be getting a 1-hit knockout regardless of what he draws. So yeah, you got to think Entei is the play this turn.
So you'd have to think the way the trade's going to go, Entei's going to get a knockout, then Sean's going to possibly knock out the Entei. He can do 100, so...
Yeah, not necessarily, no.
He doesn't necessarily have the knockout.
Well, this is where we could see the captivating Pokepuff, the clutch play, could come in. Yeah.
Although Andy's gone through a lot of Pokemon, I don't know what the chances of him...
Yeah, it's probably pretty unlikely, but hey, you never doubt the Pokepuff.
Could be clutch.
If only Target Whistle was still in the format. Yeah, Sean probably lamenting that he has to play Captivating Pokepuff instead of Target Whistle, which unfortunately rotated. So if you want to play it, well, travel to America and play Expanded because you're not going to get to play it over here. So yeah, it just ends, so both players are going to draw 4 cards. Yeah, it'll be huge if Sean gets a Lysander. Not sure if he got it in his hand, but he might be able to dig for it with Oranguru. It's not a particularly powerful card, but he can get the job done. Yeah, so we see the Combat Blaze knockout here. Andy going down 3 prizes.
So this series is kind of on a knife edge right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Really tight. Yeah, very close.
So it doesn't look like Sean got the Lysander, so he just forced the Oblivion Wing Eviltal, and he top decks the Vaporeon. And he's got a Sycamore in hand. So.
Oh, no. That's really awkward.
Yeah. So he's
he might just want to get like another... Because Andy's got 3 prizes left, but Sean's really only got 2 attackers. So essentially, we do see Sean sort of realize that he's got to power up another attacker and attaches the DC to Oranguru. But yeah, so the 30 damage from Oblivion Wing here is, I think, going to be relevant because it's going to set up that Entei for a knockout with Mind Jack. But you think if he's 2-shotting a not EX, like at this point, that's probably not going to be good enough.
Yeah, so Sean's got Pokepuff in his hand. So
here we go.
Andy unfortunately doesn't have any Pokemon. That would have been massive if Andy had Pokemon there. Sean would have been able to get the knockout with Mind Jack.
Why is... the Skyfield! I was actually wondering what stadium Sean played. Just, wow, it keeps coming. So, it's going to prevent Andy from using Scorched Earth, so I suppose that does do something, yeah.
So
probably just get him for 30 here, and then he can get to attach. If he has a Dark in his discard pile, he gets to attach to Oranguru, I guess, but Andy's just going to get a knockout, and then he just needs, 2 more knockouts. So for Andy, you just got to think he's just going to power up 1 more attacker, and then he should be set for the rest of the game, because he's going to win these trades. The only thing that Sean can sort of angle for here is that if Andy just doesn't get anything set up beyond this Entei and Volcanion, but it's probably not something that you can rely on.
Right, so Andy does have a max elixir.
Yeah, and that's going to hit. Yeah.
So I'm not too sure what Andy's other cards are. He may have a Lysander. He does have a Lysander. So that Zoroark's on 90.
Yeah, it's got 90 left, so he will need an energy to steam up though, because combat players will only be doing 80.
Yeah.
So
Which
the question is, does he
have
have
in
it? He
hand.
does have it. But the question is, does he want to? Would he prefer perhaps to attach it?
Yeah, that's a tough choice.
Because I think for him, if he just attaches and gets enough attackers, he wins. It doesn't matter what he knocks out. You know, Sean can get all the Zoroarks out he wants, but
Yeah, but I think he's not getting a knockout on this Oblivion Wing Yveltal, so...
no, he would, because he'd be hitting for 110, so he'd be hitting for the 80
right.
plus the 30 from Setup, so he would, but...
No, but if he attached the energy instead of steaming...
Oh, but he could have Versus Seeker for Fisherman. Yeah, he could have got a knockout.
Alright.
But, yeah, decides to knock in the Zoroarks, not a bad play at all.
So, just going after Sean's main threats, so...
Yeah. Yeah, again, as I said, just the only risk is that last Volcanion doesn't get powered up, so, like, Sean takes a knockout here, and he responds with the powered Volcanion, but then Sean knocks out that, and then he doesn't have anything left, so that's the risk here.
Absolutely. So, Sean is going to use that Oranguru.
Come in clutch. Oh, the second Pokeball, just when you thought it was...
Yeah.
Just when you thought it was over. I mean, the other benefit is that you get to look at your opponent's hand, so he knows that Andy has Versus Seeker and an energy, so that's actually pretty important for him to know that. So if he has an N, he will almost certainly elect to play that at this point. Well, unless he has a Lysander, I suppose, but...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll see the Versus Seeker, so... Man, that is one shiny deck.
Oh, so the Lysander was in the discard
Lysander
pile.
was in the discard pile, okay, since the beginning. It can be hard to keep track of this. So, yeah, he's going to... Yeah, he's weighing up what he wants to do. He can knock out... Yeah. Okay, he's going to bring up the Volk with the damage on it, with no energy.
Yeah. So I guess he's sort of realized that at some point Andy might be forced to attack with the damaged Volcanion.
Yeah.
So, or he's just trying to hit around the Entei maybe, just Lysander twice to win the game.
Yeah. I still probably would have liked to knock out on the Volk with the energy, because the difference is, what would you rather have? A Volk in play with no energy and a bunch of damage, or a Volk with a bunch of energy and a bunch of damage? They're both the same. One just gives you the option of attacking. You're not forced to attack with it, but at least gives the option. Maybe he wants the energy on it, so Oranguru does more damage, I suppose. That actually could be a legitimate thing for him. So, for instance, if Andy knocks out the Zoroark, then all Sean needs is a Lysander, then he can actually knock out that damaged Volk with the Oranguru, whereas he couldn't knock out the other Volk, which had 80 damage left but no energy on it with Orangurus. That's actually probably what he was angling for here.
Yeah. Okay, so Andy steams up just to thin out a card.
Yep.
Not too sure what he's digging for here. Possibly an N. Or does he value taking out that Oranguru?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't think it matters at this point since you benched the Shaman. 100 damage is going to be enough to knock out either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
The Volcanion. So
he probably just want to. Well, he needs to ensure that he's getting a knockout here with the Entei, and he'll probably just want to end and reduce Sean's chances of getting a Lysander.
So actually...
The stadium battle continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's definitely going to end here, yeah.
Yeah, it's this is where that Oranguru coming in clutch for Sean, so, he's probably going to be able to get some mileage out of it, so he's going to draw 2 and then 1 for the start of his turn, but if any of the cards in his hand he can burn, so if he can play them down immediately, he's going to be able to instruct for, 1 or 2 cards, and that could get him, the Lysander or the Versus Seeker. He has played a lot of Versus Seeker though, so, it's interesting. I think it's obviously possible that he draws it, but it's probably not super likely. But I mean, he's going to be able to see quite a few cards, so definitely not impossible.
Oh, wow. That energy retrieval from Andy's massive.
Yeah, massive. That's going to allow him to get the knockout with Entei, because Entei,
Yeah.
again, is sitting for 60 base damage, so he needs 2 steam ups, which he's going to be able to get here.
Yeah. So... yeah, he already steamed.
Oh, he already steamed up once,
so,
yeah.
So that was massive.
Yeah,
If he hadn't knocked out that Zoroark, I think Sean would pretty comfortably take down the game. So Sean needs a Lysander to win here. He's got a reverse value.
The stadium war continues.
Even
and he
an
gets
energy
one off,
to put one on the baby evil tile would be big.
gets an Ultra Ball.
But no Shaman.
No. Or even another Oranguru.
Oranguru, yeah.
Would have helped.
Oh, wow. So he's going to take a knock. Oh, Andy was down to 1 prize.
Yep, so he's just going to scoop
Didn't
there.
notice that. Yeah, so he'll scoop that.
Yeah, because of course, he needed to do it that turn, yep. Wow, yeah, really, really close game there, right down to the wire. Yeah, because of course he could have got a knockout with that Oranguru, but he knew what awaited him after he did that. So, yeah, right down to the wire, like 1 turn in it.
Absolutely, and a lot of interactions there. So many different attackers possible from Sean's side.
Yeah, and exactly like whether you want to license and things, whether how you want to trade, and whether you want to put down Pokemon is a big thing, particularly from Andy's side, but even also from Sean's side. Do you want to let Entei be more of a threat?
Yeah.
So it's really interesting game there, and that Entei really coming in clutch.
Yeah, massive.
Just having that non-EX attacker that can get 1-hit knockouts. Yeah, really big, really good inclusion in his list from Andy.
Yeah. So Sean unfortunately couldn't get much mileage out of his Vaporeon. So we'll see if he can bring it back in game 2. I'm sure that's what he'll be wanting.
Yeah, so he struggled to get down the Eevee again. Well, he didn't really get out more than 1 Eevee in that game.
No.
Not sure how many Eevee he plays, but yeah, he'd really like to get out 2 at any given time, you'd think.
Yeah. Okay, so Sean going first is big, especially when you're playing Pokepuff.
Oh yeah, the Pokebuff turn 1 going first.
Yeah.
That is brutal. So yeah, you can put down your opponent's Shamans, and of course they don't get to use the setup ability. So yeah.
Okay, so Sean immediately Ultra Balls. Discarding Reverse Valley, looks like, in a Dark Energy.
Yeah.
So probably... it looks like he doesn't have a supporter, so he'll be forced to probably get Oranguru here.
Yeah, probably not going to get too
Eevee.
much mileage out. Actually, I think he's got another Ultra Ball in his hand, so he can double Ultra Ball, get Eevee, or maybe another Zoroark and Oranguru, and he's going to be able to instruct for the full 3 cards. I thought I saw another Ultra Ball in his hand,
Yeah, he has got another Ultra Ball. He's just deciding what to discard because he doesn't want to get rid of that Super Rod too early.
Interesting. So he's keeping it in his hand, so saying, I'm only going to be... Well, actually, unless he wants to play the Super Rod to shuffle back the energy. That actually might be what he's doing here.
Right,
yeah. Yeah, that's what he's doing,
Yeah, so
he's going to shuffle back 2 energy. Oh, and a Zoroark Break. I didn't see that he discarded...
right. So I thought it was a Reverse Valley. It was a Zoroark Break, so...
Yeah. I think it was the break,
Yeah.
So that's really big for him, so he doesn't have to have those in the discard pile. He's going to be able to get 3 here.
But he's only drawing 3.
He's only drawing 3, absolutely. So obviously, Shaman will draw you 6.
But VS Seekers and things are all misses here.
Yeah.
Play them without any supporters.
But Lily, the big Lily.
Oh, he's got a Sycamore in an end.
So nice, yeah.
He gets the Skyfield down.
See, this is where Pokepuff's going to be really huge now.
Yeah.
Except Andy has no Pokemon in his hand. But
there we go.
There's the Eevee, yep.
Okay,
so we're really seeing it's more of a Zoroark deck than it is an Eveelutions deck.
Yeah.
Like I sort of perhaps thought, it's more based around attacking with Umbreon, more of the time, but it is sort of more focused on Zoroark as an attacker. That's why we see Pokepuff.
Yeah.
Maybe...
Yeah, apologies. Maybe Sean just values Zoroark more in this matchup because Volcanion's just forced to play out so many Pokemon all the time.
Possibly, but even just seeing his list, seeing the fact that, there even are 3 Zorua, probably indicates that Zoroark's a big focus. If you were just taking Zoroark into an Eveelutions deck, would you play more than 2? Clearly he values it just in general because they're in his list, so...
Yeah.
But... Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see whether... It's going to be big if Andy can get a knockout with a Baby Volk here, so he's going to need... Doesn't look like he plays Fighting Fury Belt in his list, which is interesting. No. That's something that I think would have come up in that last game if he had that extra 40 HP. That alone I think is really big when some of these numbers are borderline as to whether they're getting knockouts. But without a Fighting Fury Belt, he's going to need 2 steam ups. So because Zoroark does have 60 HP, so Yeah, probably. I mean, not the most difficult thing.
Okay. So he plays Escape Rope for no
Yeah,
real effect.
yeah. You shouldn't do that because Sean has the ability to send up the same thing,
Yeah.
but you're also given the option to send up something different. That
Yeah.
escape rope can only hurt you.
Yeah.
Because of course, if having Zorua was the best thing for Sean the active, well, he could just send out Zorua again, and therefore you're not getting anywhere. But now he has the option. Oh, I'd rather own Guru in the active, and so that escape rope shouldn't have been played.
No, and now Andy can't get a knockout this turn. I mean,
yeah, no, I can't get a knockout.
Yeah, he can't knock out that Oranguru, so absolutely, probably would have liked to see him just Sycamore it away. He doesn't draw the cards he needed to anyway. Oh no, he might have.
Yep. Yeah, he has the Ultra Ball. That could have been a knockout on the Zoroark this turn.
Yeah, so he's going to get to attach, steam up, and then Shaman for the full 6. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, going to be big turn here. Well, actually, he could still get a knockout on the Oranguru if he draws like a good enough set of cards.
Yeah.
It's theoretically possible, but extremely unlikely. He'd need 2. Actually, you're right. So he would need 4 steam-ups. Yeah. Okay, that is like next to impossible. Even 3 was pushing it, but yeah.
So he's going to Ultra Ball, possibly get a Hooper. Not too sure.
Yeah, might be wary of playing the Hooper. He was able to, of course, what was crucial was he was able to parallel City away Hooper into Shaman last game, but might be sort of concerned about benching too many things for obvious reasons, which we've been over a few times already. But yeah, so looking to grab that Entei, realizing how big it was last game.
Yeah.
Because of course, Baby Volk's good for hitting these kind of low amounts of damage, but in order to hit the mid ranges of damage, like things that are 100, 140 even, Entei's the non-EX that's really going to get you there. Yeah. And then obviously you've got Volcanion and EX, which can just blow everything to smithereens. But
yeah,
it gets max. So in terms of energy, this is a fantastic turn for Andy.
Yeah.
So he's going to get 4 energy on the first turn.
Absolutely. So that's a great turn for Andy. Yep. There we go. All right. So Sean can take a knockout here with the right combination. He's got the Vaporeon in hand, so he just needs a double colorless, and he will be able to get a knockout with Zoroark's Mind Jack.
Yes.
Yep. So Vaporeon changes all your stage 1s to water type. So Volcanion obviously weak to water, so just a double colorless here from Sean, and he will be able to get a knockout. And then basically force Andy to try and find a Lysander, because he's got 2 Zoroarks set up, so he'll be able to return KO whatever Andy sends.
Oh, and he gets the double colorless. There we see him get it, yeah. What is that? Is there a grass Pokemon in his hand? Or am I just seeing things?
Ridiculous rolling. That's a Jolteon, I think. Yeah.
Oh right,
that's the other type change.
Right. It's for some reason it looked green. I don't know why. Okay, he's not playing a secret Leafeon in his deck.
No,
type change to grass. Yeah, that unfortunately does not exist.
Yep.
So he's going to get the knockout here.
I think Sean forgetting that he had Vaporeon in play for a second.
Oh, great! Even better. I get a knockout.
Andy
awesome.
That out.
Yeah. No, good sport.
Yeah.
So what's he going to be attacking with here? Is he going to attack with the Entei, or is he going to attack with the Volcanion EX? That's the decision he's got to make here.
Yeah, so he Sycamores away. So Sean's going to be able to knock out whatever Andy uses to take a knockout here, if he can find a double colorless. So
actually, if Andy doesn't bench any more bench Pokemon, Sean's going to need Zoroark Break and a Dark, but he could just Volcanic Heat, or even use Combat Blaze on Entei, but. Yeah, so Sean basically has a response to everything here, potentially.
Alright, so...
Yeah, so Andy debate whether to put down the Volk.
Yeah.
He's thinking, is the damage going to matter? Like, is the damage differential going to matter? And I suppose he's thinking, well, if Sean has a double colorless, he's not going to be able to Mind Jack me for a knockout if I don't put this down. if I attack with the Volcanion EX. But it looks like he's attacking with the Entei because he attached to it, so it doesn't matter whether he puts down that Volk now, like in terms of... Because my Jack would be getting a knockout anyway on the Entei.
So, yeah, so he does realise that, I think, and puts down the Volcanion and he Shamans. It looks like he's got a Parallel City.
He does have a Parallel City in his hand, so yeah, probably aware that next turn he can do that.
Okay. So...
Oh, no, he can do that now, because of course, Scorched Earth was there from before, yeah. So he can do that right now, absolutely. Yeah, Parallel City, not a card we see in bulk decks too much, but it could definitely come in handy.
So, Andy going to take a knockout with Combat Blaze here, doing exactly 100.
Yep. No steam ups necessary.
No steam ups necessary. So, Sean here, I think the crucial thing from his point of view is getting attackers. So, after the Zoroark, can he... So, presumably he's going to attack with the Zoroark to get a knockout, if he can find it up colorless, which is also not guaranteed.
Yeah, or the break in the dark.
Yeah,
that'll also get him a
break
knockout.
in the dark will do the same. But then he'll probably want another follow-up Zoroark, or at least get another Eevee down. Yeah. Okay, so Sean's Sycamore's there, drawing 7, looking for, as we said, either a double colorless or the Zoroark break in a dark. He's got a Zoroark break, but no dark energy. He's got a Psychic. Oh.
Yeah, the perils of having to play another energy line in your deck.
Yeah. Sad face. Wow.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that hurts.
Well, so, but can he use Oranguru potentially? He might not be able to burn enough cards from his hand. He's got too much stuff stuck in there. He does have the Ultra Ball, but yeah, just gonna be resigned to attaching a Psychic and passing.
And that's
kind of a sad
big
turn
miss
there.
from Sean.
Huge miss. Massive miss there.
Yeah.
And we do see Andy has a Lysander, so... And he's got an energy retrieval, so he can do as much damage as he needs this turn. He can bring up that Vaporeon and knock it out. And that's going to be huge for him.
Yeah. That's massive. Wow.
Yeah, that's huge. So he doesn't even need to steam up. Combat Blade's going to be doing enough. He's able to power up that Volcanion EX fully. And... yeah, this is huge.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We haven't seen Reverse Valley actually come into play, the 10 damage from it. It applies before, weakness, so we could see some shenanigans with it at some point, but hasn't come up yet. We see yet another Stadium counter, and he's going to be...
Okay, so Andy actually pays a retreat there to attack with Volcanion EX.
Right.
Valuing, keeping that Combat Blaze Entei. I'm
not too sure why that was, because Sean wouldn't have been able to get a knockout on the Entei.
No.
Because he'd only be hitting... My Jack could only do 100 damage.
Yeah.
And he knows that Vaporeon couldn't come into play. So... I'm not sure, and having to discard those 2 energies is pretty big, because now he only has 1 attacker in play.
Absolutely.
And he might not be able to attack on the following turn, because of course, Volcanic Heat you can't use... He's got a Ranger in his hand, but well, now he doesn't anymore, because he's getting End, so... Yeah, that's a bit of a bizarre play. I think if he just attacked with Entei, it feels like he'd be in such a great position.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm not really too sure about that.
Yeah. Because now Sean can afford to 2-shot this Volcanion, and Andy doesn't really have anything behind it. Whereas if, as we said, the Entei wouldn't have been knocked out by Mind Jack, so he would have got a couple of free attacks off the Entei. So, a bit strange, but we'll wait and see how that plays out. Sean, again, struggling to find energy. No double colorless, no dark energy.
Yeah, that's the awkward thing about his deck. I think it's just the energy. Yeah, it's, as I said before, it's just a bit of a mishmash, and, it's hard. I don't know if he plays Special Charge. Like, that would be helpful in terms of getting double colorless back, but, I mean, he probably thinks that, because he's getting use out of the basic energy, so maybe he thinks he doesn't need it.
And Andy finds an Olympia and a Floatstone, so he will be able
to... Yeah, so he's going to be able to get a knockout here. Yep.
Yeah. Does find energy for Entei.
Yep. Best Seekers, for Olympia.
And gets a KO. So, Andy down to 3 prizes. And Sean... Okay, so he finds Eevee, which could be massive, actually. This game is definitely not wrapped up from Andy's point of view.
No, it isn't.
Because he's only got 2 attackers, well, 1 attacker fully powered up and 1 ready to go in Entei. Beyond that, he doesn't have much, and no guarantee he's going to be able to Volcanic Heat. So it's a similar situation to last turn.
Yeah, if only Sean was able to get that Eevee last turn.
Yeah.
Because now, but of course, he can only evolve if the Pokemon's already been there and play from the previous turn. Unless playing Forest of Giant Plants and Decidueye Barbling deck. But unfortunately, Volcanion cannot do that. So, yeah, that's going to have to wait a turn. Oh no, but he's actually electing to... Oh, here comes the Umbreon.
There you go.
Oh, there it is, finally. Maybe it was prized last game because we didn't even see it. Like, maybe it was just stuck in his deck early on. Or maybe we missed it because there's so many dark-looking Pokemon that who knows.
Yeah,
but here it is. It's finally here.
Yeah, not 100% sure he could get back Vaporeon because he had to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because he did play the Super Rod. Yeah. So if he only played 1 Super Rod, then he definitely couldn't get it back. And even if he played 2 Super Rod, there's no guarantee that it wasn't prized or that he could get it back. So I think just taking this safe route and making use of the Eevee.
Yep. So Andy for his part will be able to get a knockout with Combat Blaze here.
Yeah.
I think. Yep, 80. So yeah. He'll be doing 80 plus a 50, which is enough to knock out the Oranguru. So
yeah. Did Sean have that float stone on the Zoroark from the previous turn?
I think he just put that on this last
turn. Oh, that was just last turn, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so Andy retreats to the Combat Blaze Entei. Gonna take a knockout here. Go down to 2 prizes. And Sean's still not out of it.
No, he's not out. He's not out of it. Yeah, and he's not quite out of the woods yet. But
yeah,
I mean, it's Sean not being able to get back that Vaporeon. I think that sort of
that's going to be the ceiling.
Yeah, that could possibly be the sealer here. If Andy can just power up enough Pokemon. And interesting, we see him attach that 4th energy to Volk. That might look a bit strange, but he's anticipating a Night Call from Sean. So Umbreon's GX attack allows you to discard 2 of any energy on your opponent's field, so really big from him.
Yeah.
But probably not going to be that big, given Andy has put those insurance energies. So yeah.
I guess if Sean Dark Called 1 off the active.
Oh, sorry, it's Dark Call.
Yeah.
What did I say? I think I said the Japanese Japanese version.
Pokepuff.
Here comes the Pokepuff.
Clutch.
2 Pokemon.
Here we go.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he's going to be able to get a knockout. Yeah, he's going to be able to get a knockout this Entei. And, if Sean could get out the Espeon EX and use Psychic, he could actually knock out that Volcanion. I think the odds of that are pretty low because he's discarded the Espeon and a bunch of Psychic, but that's actually, theoretically possible. But also, I mean, it'd probably take too many turns to power it up. But
yeah, he has got the Espeon in hand, looks like.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
that's doesn't have the luxury of time, unfortunately.
No,
down to 2 prizes. So
I mean, again, the question is okay, that's great. He's got all these bench Pokemon. He's going to be able to knock out the Entei, but he still can't knock out the Volcanion EX. That's the problem here. He could get a cheap knockout on a Shaman, but again, that's still going to leave him with 2 prizes left. It just doesn't. If Andy can just attack, he doesn't have to do anything else. He doesn't have to Lysandre, he doesn't have to do anything. He can just attack over and over again.
Yeah.
Then, he's pretty much guaranteed this game.
Yeah, so I guess, crucially for Andy, can his Volcanion, as you said, get off 2 attacks, his Volcanion EX? Because if it can't, then Sean... Wait, is it even possible for Andy not to get off 2 attacks with that Volcanion EX?
Well, if he doesn't find a switching card or something like that, so yeah, no, it's possible.
I guess, yeah. So he's going to use Volcanic Heat, then probably retreat to the bench or try and find a switching card. And then, yeah. Yeah, so once, so Andy will attack next turn with, presumably, with Volcanic EX, but then after that he's got to find, some sort of switching card in order to attack again. Okay, but he's got a VS Seeker in hand, so he does play Olympia, so he can just retreat. Although, Sean might play another N, that's definitely a possibility. Mm-hmm.
So that's not going to be guaranteed for him to have that.
Yeah. But... So yeah, he should just attach that Floatstone and then just Volcanic Heat. And then Hope for the best, really.
Yeah. Yeah, just deciding where to put that. Puts it on the Volcanion EX. Probably worried about it getting stranded up, something like that.
Okay, so we are running close to time, I think, in the round. I don't think it's going to be a factor because I think this game's more or less finished. Plus 3 turns.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be
enough to resolve the game. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it does decide. Oh, it does decide to play the Berserk. Interesting. So he's going to play the Sycamore.
Possibly.
So probably just wants to get more energy into play. Yeah, probably just wants to get more energy into play, and also discard like the useless cards that he had in his hand. Yeah. So if he gets end, I mean, he has one less like quote unquote good card in his deck in the Versus Seeker, but he's also discarding cards he doesn't want, and he's going to be able to attach energy, possibly play an Ultra Ball, just thin out his deck, get rid of these cards he doesn't want.
So, see a Lysander in Sean's hand, but the crucial thing is that Vaporeon.
Yeah, so plays the Ultra Ball.
Game changer from Sean. So, plays the Ultra Ball, fail searches, and just going to Volcanic Heat here. Is he attached an energy this turn?
No, he hasn't. So he can do that.
He passed. Okay.
Oh, possibly, maybe time. Yeah, time might have been called there.
So, if time was called there, then anticipating Sean can't win the game, just going to pass. But
it doesn't want to risk anything, put something active with a bunch of energy and, maybe Sean gets off some ridiculous play, I don't know, but so I think...
the ridiculous play is still open. Sean can knock out a Shaman and then possibly follow up with an Espeon GX, sorry.
That is... Yeah, oh wow, then we see...
So
here we
go.
go.
Able to get an Eevee down and an energy onto the Eevee.
Yeah.
Okay, so he just Dark Calls here. And... yeah.
So, this is sort of like a more protracted version of that play, but he could even... Well, I think... Oh, this could actually... she's probably not over this turn, but presumably time's been called, and unfortunately, sorry guys, we don't know exactly when time's called, so that probably explains why Andy didn't attack the previous turn.
Yeah. Because otherwise you would think he would just attack and take a prize, go down to 1 prize, and then can't knock out the Volcanion EX, so...
You think
there's
so,
time.
Yeah.
Alright, so time got called on Andy's turn, so this is turn 0, so...
Oh, okay, so time wasn't called from previously, so okay.
So, you saw my hands flash across the camera screen there. I think that was indicating time.
Well, that's a clever idea.
Yeah.
Just wish you'd mentioned that earlier, so we didn't look like idiots talking about whether time was called or not.
Hey. I forgot. Alright, give me a break.
So he's going to have to get this Shaman out of the active spot. The question is, how does he want to do that? Does he want to... Well, I suppose he's got to retreat, really, but... Yeah, he does have that Max Elixir, which it's just an energy sitting on the board, I think.
He's deciding where to attach it.
Oh, sorry, so he's deciding where to attach it, You can't just Max Elixir onto the playmat. That's not a valid target.
He was putting on a Venusaur on the playmat. Alright.
So probably taking the conservative route here and actually just powering up the... Well, he knows here that he just has to stop Sean from winning in 2 turns.
Yeah.
And if he just sends up a non-EX here, that's going to be basically impossible for Sean to do. Well, even if he sends up an EX, because not knocking out an EX is also game. So
strange that he decides to attack with Volcanion EX this turn.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not really about winning the game for him. It's just about making sure that Sean doesn't take 4 prizes.
To make sure Sean doesn't take 4 prizes, just retreating to the Baby Vault probably.
Yeah, but I mean, this Vault can't go down. Like, there's no way it can get knocked out. So, it's sort of the same thing, but.
All right, so.
So does Sean have any way of taking these prizes? I don't think he does.
I don't think he does.
Because he could get the Lysander on the Shaman and knock it out, but then what does he do beyond that?
Yeah.
Yeah, if
He's already used his
yeah,
GX attack. So
yeah, he's already
no.
used a GX attack. Yeah, so probably writings on the wall here at the moment.
Yep. I think Sean just trying to think through his options, trying to see if there's some way he can win. He doesn't play a rogue Bunnelby to deck out Andy.
That
So
would be
he's just
clutch.
scoops. Yeah.
That would be clutch. Oh, okay. Good game there. Yeah, no, really, really tight games, really close games. Interesting,
Yeah.
really interesting deck from Sean, the smorgasbord dot deck, and then good Volcanion list from Andy. Yeah, really, really good game.
Yeah, interesting interactions. Something we don't see commonly, so great to get this on video. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And congratulations to Andy, commiserations to Sean. And we'll see you guys for the next round, round 5. All right. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Cheers. See you guys.